everybody remain f***ing calm. Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. And right before I started planning out my video for this evening, I was so pumped just to give you stories on how our defensive line has continued to dominate, how our secondary is really starting to step up, even though we have no idea realistically when Trey White's going to be back, or maybe even some Josh Allen news. Right? How he's continuing to build up that chemistry with some of his new pieces, running game. But no, of course I have an absolute heart attack when I'm scrolling through Twitter, and then I see that Jordan Poyer has went down with an injury. Yep, literally just 2 days after Micah Hyde gave us the scare of the century. Looks like that he is the most recent Buffalo Bill that has suffered a somewhat significant boo-boo. And so right in this video, I'm about to go into detail in not only what this injury entailed, what it looks like going throughout the rest of training camp in the preseason, and then just my overall thoughts on like training camp and preseason as a whole, because I feel like it just needs to be said. Right before I do that, though, I do want to remind everybody that I am giving away 2 tickets to the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers on Week 5, okay? In order to enter this competition, you need to be a subscriber to this channel, and you need to leave a comment on this video. Some of you have been asking me, Dan, how many comments do I need to leave each and every single video that I mentioned the giveaway? And so just hours before Week 1, Thursday Night Football against the LA Rams, I'm going to announce the winner. And so I'm just going to be looking through all of the comments of all of the videos that I've mentioned this giveaway on and double checking whether or not that you subscribed. And I'm going to be picking a winner at random. So if you're feeling lucky, may the odds be ever in your favor. So yeah, Don Mafia, I feel like it was just the other day when we ended up having that Micah Hyde scare, and thank God that it legitimately was just sort of a bang-up, and then he was back at least in some sort of limited capacity going out there. And we were like, you know what, this is great. I feel like that our secondary needs as many reps as possible, especially if we have no idea when Trey White is realistically going to be back. I mean, we have theories, but at the end of the day, right now we just have a roadmap. And then, boom, right out of the blue, it appears that Jordan Poyer suffered an arm injury. Now, as far as fault is concerned, they're saying that he either ended up getting hit by James Cook or somebody on the offensive line when he was trying to break down a running play. And most experts right now are saying that it is a hyperextended elbow. He ended up going to the hospital to get an MRI. There's going to be a bit more updates tomorrow, I want to say, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I do want to set back and not be somebody that's running around screaming that the sky is falling at this point. This could have been a lot worse. From what early reports are saying, Jordan Poyer is not going to be suited up at all for the remainder of training camp and into the preseason. And if all goes to plan, he will be completely ready by Week 1. Now, this is good news, especially since we need our 2 safeties as healthy as humanly possible going into this season. We really, really need them. And it just goes to continue to beg the question of, like, how necessary is it to put your players through such an extensive preseason period? And I'm talking about when it comes into training camp. Now, I am a huge advocate that I believe it doesn't matter if you were a professional in any stretch of the imagination. If you take some time off of actual game time of your actual profession, you're gonna be rusty. But I feel like that there's a line that the NFL just continuously walks, right? I mean, literally today, if you just scroll through Twitter or you scroll through just some various other NFL news, you're seeing major injuries. In fact, I'm pretty sure I ended up seeing somebody tear a major ACL about an hour or so ago. And it dreads the question, and it begs for the question, when will some teams realize that they just need to take their star players that are really building this team and giving them the best opportunity to compete, and dude, like, just let them participate in non-padded practices, maybe one or two. I understand if you want to get a couple of reps in just to kind of get the whole ball rolling, but if I'm the Buffalo Bills right now, and there's likely a large reason why I'm not a part of the organization, but I legitimately would take some of these stars that we have that even demonstrate some bit of history when it comes into injury, completely sit them out, right? Josh Allen, Von Miller, Micah Hyde, Poyer, Trey White, I feel like shouldn't even have any reps at all during the offseason. I understand that he's been injured for a little bit, but really when it comes down to it, we need to make sure that our star players are absolutely protected. I'm going to be pissed off if we have a huge contributor go down in the damn training camp phase or in the preseason. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And so as far as Jordan Poyer is concerned, I'm glad that we'll likely see him during the regular season, but it's every year, man, where I am just sitting around with a tight asshole waiting to hear that somebody significant on this team is going down. Whether or not that we decide to maybe limit the preseason to 2 games rather than 3, whether or not that we just limit the whole like fully padded practices, who knows? Who really knows at this point? But Dom Mafia, do me a favor, what are your thoughts on a perhaps restructure on the whole like training camp phase of the NFL, the preseason? Is the risk really worth the reward? Are you the kind of person that would want to just literally just sit your starters as much as humanly possible, especially key impactors? Or do you think that this is a necessary evil and to make sure that your team is on that competitive edge ready to go? Del Mafia, love having you. Do me a favor, leave your comment, your thoughts, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the out of this video, and we'll see you next time. Let's go Buffalo.